No one actually cares. No one wants to actually help people. What they want to do is they want to force everybody into a psychological mindset of complete and total subservience. Everything you buy is going to be going up and it's going to skyrocket the hell out of there. You are getting hosed. Well, I tell you something, Mr. Economics Professor. You're screwing over people who are on their pensions. Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the minimum wage and why increasing it's a really bad idea and why no one who's earning around the minimum wage or even quite a bit more than that would really want the minimum wage to increase. Okay, so we're going to start off. Now, I'm over 25, so my pay per hours minimum wage is £8.72 per hour. Working 36 hours per week. I don't actually work 36 hours per week, but I'm actually going to be using this to show you how companies are going to be working with this as well. So I've got 36 hours per week just to help demonstrate this for you. So all of this information is calculated. So we've got our pay per week, our total weeks in a year, which is combined together to create your payment before tax, your tax-free per annum, your taxable income, the amount which is actually taxed, and your payments after tax. Now I've got a total income tax here, which is really, really important because certain people have argued with me and said, oh, if you increase the minimum wage, you're not taxed at a higher rate. Well, that's a bit of nonsense, right? Because if we watch our percentage of total income tax, and we just change that little puppy to £10 an hour, boom, 6.5% of your total income's taxed. So you are paying more tax in it. Right, anyway, with that put aside, what we're going to do is we're just going to have a quick look through things. So we've got employee wages here, which is what's being paid in employee wages. And then what we've got to do is we've got to include the national insurance which companies have to pay for employees. So that's all added in. So we get the total employee cost. So what we've also got is we've got the turnover and everything else involved in a business to get a fully functioning business, right? So we've got our business down here, and we're going to basically be editing that as well throughout this wonderful experience. So at the moment everything's fine. We've got a business which is making a crappy £4,000 a year, barely struggling to survive, right? And they've got 4 employees, and basically all of this stuff is just being calculated for us, along with everything else. So what we're going to do, is we're going to increase the minimum wage to £10 an hour. Let's do that, shall we? Okay, so what have we got? Well, down here with the business, I've also moved it up here as well. You'll notice that our income employee costs have gone to minus. We gone into into the minuses, so we're actually making a loss as a company now. Okay, so what does a company need to do? Well, we can increase the amount of goods and services sold. Let's say increase it to 58,000. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? But the problem is you can't guarantee that you will sell more goods and services to people. In fact, you're probably going to be selling less. So what the number we've got to work on is actually increasing the gross profit which we make per sale. So let's try 80%. Okay, that's a little bit of income, but we're not going to want a little bit of income on top. Companies always want to make more money, so we've got to increase that, say, to 90%, like so. So we can finally start affording. We can finally start affording all of this stuff. So what's actually happening here? Well, the cost of basically the cost of all your items are going up, and this is just from the company level, right? And the fact of the matter is companies buy items from other companies which also have to employ people. Now there are other ways to do this as well, so let's take that down to 64%. So what we can do is we can strike off Billy and we can reduce our employee number to 3. Oh, we still get employment, which is absolutely wonderful, but everyone else has to work harder. Bam. So you're going to be suffering. Well, we don't want to work for that. Well, how about this for an idea? This is what we've got in the care sector, because I used to get paid 36 hours a week. Now I get paid 33. Now I get paid 33 hours a week. So I'm earning less money because of it, because I'm now getting an unpaid break. Thank you very much. It's still expensive, but we're still making still making a profit even with the gross profit there. So if we're actually got the employees on 36 hours a week, like so, we're making a massive loss. And so by just taking the employee hours per week down, we're saving a huge amount of money. So the employees at the end of the day are going to suffer. But not only will they do this and reduce your hours of work, reduce your benefits, reduce anything that you got for working with a company, right? Just in order to make you survive, they'll probably reduce the employee numbers as well with some of the big companies, so you'll end up having more things to do. They're also going to be increasing the amount of profit which they make for selling services. Now, this may not sound like a whole lot at the first, but actually, the great part of all of this is that you're going to be paying more, and on top of that, you got VAT, which is 20% more, is going to get lumped on. When they bump this figure up to whatever it needs to be to get them back into the green, if they're not going to mess around with hours and employee numbers, and they will probably do both, by the way, as well, because they'll think, oh wow, we can make a huge profit here, and the workers are just the drones at the bottom level. You're basically going to be paying a huge amount more for different projects, and then you got things like sugar tax, and then you got things like VAT that are being added on as well. Then you got your luxury goods tax, alcohol taxes and everything. You still think increasing the minimum wage is cool? It's not. Okay, there is actually a really easy way to make everyone's life a lot better, and basically not make it so that it's let's say I think it's $8.72 an hour. So basically, there is a thing that we can do to make everyone's lives better, and that is to increase the tax-free personal allowance so that just to a level where it's actually acceptable for people. So if we increase that to, say, for example, 15,000, oh bam, our percentage of total income tax goes down. Your companies are not affected, so the money is not affected, and everyone has more money so they can buy more things. VAT is coming out of anything anyway, so it takes care of itself. So actually increasing the tax-free bit per annum before people are actually taxed is the best way to actually handle this crap. But the fact of the matter is, no one actually cares. No one wants to actually help people. What they want to do is they want to force everybody into a psychological mindset of complete and total subservience to a system where they're going to increase the minimum wage. Oh, why not put it at £15 an hour? Sounds great, doesn't it? Until you actually realise all of this other stuff, like the percentage total income tax has freaking shot through the roof, right? You're getting huge employee costs, so they're going to have to ship more goods and services. They're going to have to increase the amount of profit per sale and everything else by a ridiculous amount to deal with it. They're going to have to cut down on employees. They're going to have to cut down on any form of benefits that the companies have, right? So it's not fun, and it's not helpful, and it doesn't benefit anyone. It just sounds really good because everyone looks at it and thinks, oh my god, I'm earning more money if I'm getting this. It's like, no, the money's coming out of you. It's just like, if you haven't noticed, every single time that the minimum wage goes up, your life becomes harder, your cost of living becomes harder, and you start to struggle more. And is the government there to help you? No, they're not. All right, the people who actually supply your money are the companies you work for. Right? And they're buying products and services from everybody else, right? And because they're buying products and services from everybody else in order to survive, and those products and services go up, the cost of services and products from those companies that the consumers will mainly buy from go up. And if you look at advertising going up, if you look at all of the acquiring prices per item going up, I mean, you know, the items cost to acquire, the places like Booker, for example, which are really, really good for actually for supplying things where you don't have to go in and pay VAT. So but they're still going to have to pay at least minimum wage to their staff. Okay, they're still going to have to pay people who are loading. They're still going to have to pay people to transport things. The prices of everything goes up when the minimum wage goes up. You think that you're not going to get taxed more? You're an idiot. It's that simple. All right, they're lying to you, and they will trick you, and they will mess with your head, and they'll make you think, oh my god, I'm going to earn more money, when it's actually a lie, because your cost of living will go up by a drastic amount more than the cost of living is at the moment. At the moment, we're okay. It's not great, but, you know, if they reduce the minimum wage a little bit, it actually gives companies leeway. They can say, well, we will pay people who are experienced staff members longer, keeping staff members. We'll pay an experienced staff member more money, and we can keep them longer. We can do all of these things to help people. We can provide them with benefits and services, like having cheaper, buying products off the company for cheaper. Oh, I'm going to sneeze, don't want to sneeze. Oh, anyway. it's really, really stressful having to deal with people who seem to believe that they're going to actually gain something from increase of the minimum wage. And the problem is that there's so many people who will stand there. These university professors will stand there and say, "Oh, I'm an economics professor. I'm here to help you." Well, I tell you something, Mr. Economics Professor. If you had half the mind to actually set up a goddamn spreadsheet and actually input some of this data, you'd realise just how much nonsense is going on. Now, it's like, you don't just buy a product from a company and it's just not. For example, you don't go down to the co-op and get an item that's there in the co-op that has just been made by the co-op. That's not how it works. What happens is like, you got Brunswick ham that's gone through import charges. You know, you've got the officials at the who are dealing with imports and exports. They're all having to be paid. The people who drive the lorries to bring it XYZ, they're all having to be paid. The price of Brunswick ham is going up. All right. So whenever you want to go out and buy your Brunswick ham, you know, or whatever the hell you do buy, because everything you buy is going to be going up and it's going to skyrocket the hell out of there, you are getting hosed, and you are gullible if you believe that this is something that will benefit you. The more they increase the minimum wage, the more people suffer, and this is something which we see every single time they do it, and it drives me mad because I get into arguments with people about the minimum wage all the time. All right? But I don't think people care. That's it. They don't care what's happening to the poor families. And here's the thing. What about people who are up on their pensions, all their savings, right? People who've saved up their entire lives. The value of that money is deteriorating because the cost of living is going up, right? You're screwing over people who are on their pensions. That's cruel, right? People can't even afford housing at the moment, right? You're screwing them over. What about families that are struggling because they're on benefits, you know, disability benefit, all these things? They do not go up in tandem with the amounts that the minimum wage goes up. They don't. All these people are starting to suffer. And then everyone says capitalism is at fault. Well, it's not capitalism. It's a system which is forcing this to go up so that they can earn more money from you guys. Because every single time you buy anything, you're paying tax on it. Every single time. It drives me absolutely balmy. All right? And the fact of the matter is, every single thing that you do, it's like when you go out to the shop, when you get yourself an ice pole, slush puppy, whatever, go down to Starbucks, you're getting screwed over by this system. When they increase the pay per hour, you're paying more for your Starbucks, you're paying more for everything, because everything is becoming more and more expensive. And it's just like, I'm sitting there in a thing, and everybody argues with me constantly. It drives me mad, right? This is not perfect. This doesn't have it doesn't even have a quarter of the information that I need in it. This is a short demonstration of something which is really, really problematic, right? It really is. And there's a gigantic amalgamation more crap that is in here than is being shown to you at the moment. Because the goods and services stuff, these are estimations, all right? And they're based upon estimations of smaller companies that I know. So I know that they're going to be making a certain amount per year and how much they're going to be suffering. Because get this, right? I work with small businesses. I don't really work with bigger businesses much. But this is what you're doing. You're costing the small businesses. You're making everything. You like that corner shop? The one which always gives you nice value on things? You know, do you like it? It's nice and convenient, right? Well, soon it's going to be gone. And you know, you like those people in the co-op and everything who scan your items. Soon they're going to be gone as well. It'll just be shelf stackers, and you can scan your own items. There, you've given yourself a job, because guess what? Their employee number is going down. Oh, what is it now? 3. Look at that profit going up. Oh my God, employees' numbers going down. Oh my God, one guy can just go and do all of the stuff, and we can have a machine in. What's the machine cost again? It's about £18,000 to get one of those scanning machines, like a good one. So you've got an £18,000 scanning machine, and that'll cost you about, say, £1,000 per year to service. Well, the employees that you would have had on the floor, right? They're costing you a huge amount more. So why would any business hire them? It's ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is not as well. Businesses can't just sack people. You know, they got to have a good reason to prove that people need to be made redundant. You know, it's not one of those easy situations. So everybody is suffering because of this, and nobody cares. Nobody cares because they think they're getting more money. It's crazy. And maybe I sound like a crazy person, and maybe I should have gone through and added every single little bit of math to this. But you know something? It's a waste of my goddamn time because no one watches these videos because they're boring, because they're just a guy ranting at an Excel screen. Oh my god, it's Excel! It's not even Excel, it's Google Sheets. So, rah! You know, oh my god. It's enough to drive a man to drink. Anyway, have a good night. Thanks for joining me, and this has driven me mad.